I really want to see Morgans really get them evil messages out there. Yeah, yeah. Luffy ruthlessly killed Dr. Vegapunk. There's nowhere to run to. There's nothing to live for. There's nothing to lose. Like, bro, we get to see Sentomaru more of his depth. One Piece is amazing. Because it parallels what's going on. Official translation, also brother. He's a little soft around the edges when it comes to certain people. Were fake out deaths. Is that what this means? I think what she means by, in short, they're all alive is we know how important right hands are to their captain, and we know how important it is that they keep them. You know, this is the first time the Straw Hats weren't able to save what has to be on the other wall. These look like books. This looks like a book. I look into it. Look into it. All right, y'all. I'm hyped today. We got a good old fashioned let's yap. You know what I'm saying? Let's yap about some movies. So we got shit to talk about. Let's talk about it. How are y'all? I hope y'all look good. You feel me? I hope y'all are having a good Labor Day. Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about Morgans. I really like this interaction between Morgans and Vivi. I kind of do lean towards the Morgan side. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just a little chaos, parasite in me or some shit like that. But I really want to see Morgan's like. I really want to see Morgans really get them evil messages out there. Yeah, yeah. Luffy ruthlessly killed Dr. Vegapunk. Like, fuck it. Like, and I like what he's doing, because the state of the world in One Piece right now is crazy. Like, it's really insane. And Morgans is he's preying on that. There's so much revolution and turmoil, and then Vegapunk's message sent so many different factions into disarray that, like, the more negative, the more you make people just feel just oppressed and just like there's nowhere to run to, there's nothing to live for, there's nothing to lose. Like, bro, you gonna see people doing some crazy stuff for real. At the same time, people are desperate to know what the hell is going on. And the thing is, Morgans, he knows some shit, but he don't always know exactly what the hell is going on. And he don't give a fuck. But you know who do give a fuck? What's actually they care about what's going on. See, this is what makes it interesting to me. The people, the civilians, they actually care about what's going on. They really want to know. And they're taking Morgan's words for it. They're thinking that when they find it out in the newspaper, that's actually what's going on. So it's really fucked up what he's doing. And Vivi is morally right, but I like it. But you know what I'm saying? Let's move on from that. We have my guy Sentomaru, man. Hey, man. When we first met Sentomaru and Sabo Odi, I didn't dislike his design or dislike him as a character. I just disliked him because he was an op and he was a part of a big L for the Straw Hat. And he was standing there talking all that dumbass defense shit. I don't know why that shit was pissing me off. But as an Eggheadian, you feel me? As we get to this Egghead arc, and you know, we get to see Sentomaru more of his depth, and we get to see his backstory, and we get to see Vegapunk saving him, and we get to see him making a decision to help who he calls Old Man Punk, and we just get to see him fighting Kizaru, that was a good fight, by the way. I don't think people, y'all might be asleep on that one. I don't know. Maybe y'all not. That was a good fight. Like, it was some cool choreography for a One Piece fight. Not saying that to slight, but you know, if y'all want some tough ass choreography, go read Sakamoto, Dragon Ball, JJK at times, at a lot of times. But yeah, back to what the fuck I was saying. Sentomaru he's in Robin's shoes now. My boy Surgeon of Death made a great point about this. But I was feeling this as well reading this chapter. Like, I was getting Robin vibes for Sentomaru because, like, look at him, man. When the government, One Piece is amazing. because it parallels what's going on in real life. Like when you look at how our government portrays certain events and certain things from our history, it's such a, I don't know if the word is jaded. I don't know, but they want us to look at it like I'm 24 right now. I was about 20 years old when I learned that the pictures from the civil rights era are in full. There was a lot of those pictures were taken on full color cameras, but they were always shown to us black and white to make it feel like this was oh so long ago. Because in the world we live in, you can't really erase 100-year period from history, but you can. And we have certain things with Iraq, Japan, and I'm not trying to get into the wrong and right and stuff, but who wins the war tells the story. And when you read the story in the textbook, or you read the story from what the government officials decided to go with, it's never going to be what actually happened. You know what I mean? And that's what we're dealing with here. Like, we have the void century where they're not changing history, they've erased it. And anybody who looks into it they're getting incinerated. Like O'Hara, gone. Sentamaru or Vegapunk, Egghead, gone. Like Nico Robin, hunted for the rest of her life. Like Bounty up there with some of the motherfucking most demon straw hats. You feel me? Bounty up there with some good with some motherfucking pirates for real, bro. All for studying that. Her bounty was OD pre-time skip. Like, get her. Somebody go kill that little demon child. They labeled a little girl demon child. So you see how serious they are about altering the perspective of what that void century could be, and making sure anybody who studies that void century is felt, full force is felt. And Sentomaru is feeling the effects of that, and it is really sad. You know what I mean? It's very sad. I feel for Sentomaru's art. I do think that Sentomaru would have helped Old Man Punk regardless, which is why I kind of don't like why Old Man Punk felt the need to like bring up what he did. As y'all know, if you don't know, if you're new here, I don't like Vegapunk. I really don't. I applaud his smartness. I do believe he had a lot of good intentions over his life, but he did a lot of irresponsible things with his capabilities, and I feel like his accountability was a problem up until the end of his life. But I just don't like him bringing up what he did for Sentomaru in that moment to get him the help. I think he would have came to the conclusion to help him regardless, because he loves him. Because not only because he did that, but because like he grew up with the nigga. You feel me? So it's like, bro, you didn't have to do all that, bro. Like, you have to put trust in people. You have to, if you're gonna ask for a favor, don't ask for a favor with, oh, I'm asking you for this, and don't forget I did this for you. No, nigga, ask for it and hope that they do it off the strength, because that's what a real relationship is. So yeah, I always didn't like that, and I always wanted to expound on how I felt about that, and that's that. We next have Akainu and Kizaru. And what's interesting, the most interesting thing about their conversation to me is here when we have Akainu called Kizaru brother. This is interesting to me. I don't know if this is like not interesting to the rest of y'all, but maybe I misjudged Akainu. Let me preface this by saying that maybe I just misjudged Akainu. But to me, he does not feel like the type of man who would just call his friends, his good friends, brother. You know what I mean? And I was thinking maybe it was a close friend thing, a close male friend thing. Like, it was kanji for close male friend, and TCB translator interpreted as brother. But no. Official translation, also brother. So this is very interesting to me. I wonder if they took a sake toast. Sake. I wonder if they took a sake toast. But who knows? But that was interesting to me. And the reason that I can kind of see this, for Akanu's character is because the way Oda has portrayed him, he's shown to have a distinction now between how he treats and talks to the admirals. Like, we have Kizaru, but Kizaru's older than him. You know, he's the fleet admiral. Akanu don't give a fuck about none of that. He was flapping at his gums when he first got on his phone. But we have Kizaru calling him an ungrateful brat, and him getting to, I'm sorry, brother. You know what I mean? we have Kuzan, where he said there was like emotions welling up, and he spared him at the end of their fight. Like he, you know what I'm saying? Like he felt remorse about how it had to happen, type shit. But then we have Ryukyogu, where even though the nigga like dick rides him, he's like, bro, nobody told you to go to Wano, you dumb as hell. Like he wasn't like, oh, good job, type shit. And then we also have, was it like that? And we have Fujitora, where Fujitora turned up on him, and in my opinion, Fujitora was in the right. And Fujitora, what he was saying wasn't really like, it wasn't um affecting it wasn't affecting the effectiveness of the Marines in that moment of doing their mission and just saving citizens. But what it was doing was affecting the effectiveness of the Marines brand and the Marines hold on, I guess, the citizens, in Akanu's opinion, because he feels like that order and that structure that the Marines represent and that they impose on the world is more important. It's more important that they're painted as the saviors and the heroes, that construct is painted as the savior and the heroes, than the pirates. But Fujitora is coming from the standpoint of this is the truth, and he was judging Akanu from that. And I feel like any real nigga should be able to understand this is the truth, but he wasn't giving a fuck about that either. So it's like he obviously has a he obviously I was thinking that from Marineford, from his interactions with that I saw with from his introduction, for real. Even though Robin's backstory was his introduction, it was still like that really in my eyes just painted the nigga as a demon. And then in Marineford, I kind of saw that he just really gives a fuck about the order of the Marines, like what I just talked about. And I thought he treated every Marine the same with that in mind. He's a little soft around the edges when it comes to certain people. And I'm starting to realize that. And it's I don't fuck with the nigga, but I guess it's kind of cool. Then we have another cool interaction between Kizaru and Vegapunk. After Kizaru asks Akainu if he's ever killed him, and TTD said his best friend. I was like, damn, Vegapunk's his best friend. But Vegapunk might not have been his best friend. But he's damn close. He said, have you ever killed a close friend? Akainu's like, nah, I couldn't do it actually, because he couldn't do it with Kuzan. And now Kuzan is one of Blackbeard's, you feel me, one of his 10 Titanic commanders, Then we get this flashback. So what happened when Kizaru and Vegapunk met? I know y'all read the chapter, but this is a quick explanation, so I'm gonna give it. The Navy sent Kizaru to arrest Vegapunk, right? But Vegapunk saw through it. What I want to know is if Vegapunk did not see through that, and he was always going to see through it. I'm not saying that him not seeing through it was a possibility, but I'm saying what were the Navy's plans? If he didn't see through that, would they have not given him, like, would they have not allowed him to do certain things? Like, because he had enough free reign to get away with the broadcast, to get away with seeing through York's plan and erasing his memory, and like to add the failsafe for Bonnie, and to add, like, he had enough leeway to allow Kuma to protect the Straw Hat ship. He had enough leeway to include all of these things and research and pick up O'Hara's research. You know what I mean? So I wonder if, and then who knows what the fuck he was doing at Punk Hazard. So I wonder if they would have arrested him and did their original plan with how they intended it. Would it have been a more constricted, like would it have been more, just a more, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? Just more directed, just more military controlled, would have been a more Navy controlled operation. So yeah, that's interesting to me. But he saw through it, so we'll never know. Oh, last thing I wanted to talk about with Kizaru. From their flashbacks and from from what I get of Kizaru and what I've been able to develop about his conscience, he completely knows right from wrong. And he knows that a lot of shit that the Navy does is wrong. But what I think Vegapunk was for him, I think he really saw a lot of good intentions in Vegapunk. And I think he saw like things like, you know, the flowers for the Nobel, for the God damn, y'all, the inventions with the gunpowder that turns the bullets or whatever, turns gunpowder to flowers, da 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 da. The bullets that turn gunpowder to flour, like things like that Vegapunk was doing and wanting to share knowledge with the world and just being so colorful and having just good intentions towards the world. I think that made Kizaru feel like he was actually doing something good in the Marine. And then when he was ordered to, as he was ordered to kill him, like he did it and he wants to feel and be a cog. But I think he's starting to lose faith. He's probably still going to be a cog because his relationship with Akane was interesting, and I think he's gonna follow. He might fuck around and follow Akane to the end, but I think he's definitely disillusioned completely now as to the military having good like intentions and stuff, and I think he believes every word of the broadcast. Even though he didn't, he was in and out. He was getting fucked up during the broadcast, and he was fucked up in the head during the broadcast afterwards. After everything was over and done, he was pretty sad. So I don't know how much of the broadcast he listened to or paid attention, but he definitely believes every word because I know he trusts Vegapunk. The main thing I wanted to talk about is, does this panel mean that Pythagoras, Edison, Shaka, Stella, and Atlas were fake out deaths? Is that what this means? In my opinion, no. The way I look at it, Shaka is gone. Like I felt that shit. Like damn, my nigga Shaka is gone. Edison is gone. Like my nigga Edison is gone. Like damn. Pythagoras and Atlas, I fuck with them, but like they over there. I don't fuck with them like Shaka and Edison. I don't throw this bitch to the side. What now? What nigga? But I still feel like damn, they gone. Like I feel like those personalities you can never get back. Because to me, the way I look at it, whenever Vegapunk decided to split his personality into different personalities, right? At the moment he decided to do that, in the moment he went through the scientific method, if he even has to do that, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he can skip a step. Maybe he can skip hypothesis or research, whatever. Maybe I don't know. But whenever he actually did it and split his personalities, you would have to have that exact personality, and it would have to go through exactly what it went through up until the moment that it died for it to be the same person. I don't think just having the memories on a backup file constitutes the same personality. So I think what Lilith meant by this is they're alive, and because she kept saying, I've just heard it all. She said it twice. She said, I just heard the whole story. And Sanji said, what do you mean you heard the whole story? Who did you hear it from? And then she said, don't worry, I've just heard it all. And he said, what do you mean? Why do you keep saying you heard it? As you see right here, top left. So I think what she means by, in short, they're all alive, is their memories are alive, their knowledge is alive, their research, experiments, blah, 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 blah. But in my opinion, now this could be, maybe they do have those exact files, or maybe Oda doesn't take it that deep and she brings them back and they're back how they were, or something like that. But I don't think that just having their memories on the backup file, or even having just their personalities at that point and their memories will constitute them being the same person as they were, because they're being introduced to the world in a completely different situation than they were being introduced to the world the first time. So I don't think you can ever get the same Shaka, Edison, Pythagoras, or Atlas. You definitely can't get Stella back, but I don't think you can get the same Shaka, Pythagoras, Edison, or Atlas. But you do have Vegapunk's brain in that tank. There's a lot of moving parts with this, okay? That's my hypothesis. I don't think they're fake out deaths. It doesn't feel like fake out deaths to me, but I can see why somebody would take this panel and go, fake out deaths. And that's going to be my clickbait thumbnail title, fake out deaths. Anyway, all right, let's get into it. Y'all see him up here, right? Top left. We know how important a right hand is to a Lord. I don't be wearing hats on camera like that, but I got y'all today. You know what I'm saying? I throw a little hat on. I ain't got no cut. I ain't got y'all. I got me. Anyways, we know how important right hands are to their captain, and we know how important it is that they keep them, you know, in check. And what Zoro is doing in this chapter is keeping Luffy in check. He says this is pathetic. He's one of the emperors now, and he's moping over one geezer dying. And Frankie and Jinbei, what this panel got me thinking about when I read it is, this is the first time the Straw Hats weren't able to save the Straw Hats, not Luffy, but the Straw Hats weren't able to save who Luffy wanted to save on the island. Like, they've always been able to be either the hero or the undercover hero. You know what I'm saying? They've just always been able to save the person. Save the person who needs saving, save the person who gave Luffy food, and just save the people. And this time they couldn't do that. And Luffy promised that he would do that. He told Sentomaru he would do that. He told some of the other punks he would do that. He told Bonnie he would do that. So he's hurt about this shit. He's fucked up. Even though, what we just touched on. I think the fake out death, that conversation, I could be wrong. Like I said, I could be wrong. Vegapunk's brain is still alive. There's a lot of moving parts in this. They could really still be. We could get that same exact personality, through what I was saying, or through something different. But I think that piece of dialogue was solely for Lilith. It wasn't for the readers. It was for the readers to see Lilith, because Luffy can be simple-minded at times. It doesn't really take a lot sometimes to sway him. And because he was fucked up, I think that line was for Lilith, for the readers to see Lilith calming Luffy down because he was fucked up by Old Man Punk. I keep calling him Old Man Punk because I feel for Sentomaru. What about Vegapunk? Zoro, in my opinion, is right. It's not that deep. You made it out with your crew. Like, you're one of the 4 emperors now. And I don't like Vegapunk, and I like Zoro, so I'm kind of biased. But at the same time, I'm very sympathetic for Luffy. Because this is the first time that it's happened like this, and they were up against a lot. They really were. Last thing I want to talk about is this giant ship. Man, it's just so much stuff here that I'm interested about. I don't know why. And we're about to go to Elbaf, so we're about to see a whole bunch of giant shit. Like, we really might not even get a lot of the giant ships and get a lot on Elbaf. But still, I'm dumb interested, because if we look here and look how big this chair is. But if we look here and we look up to the right, in the top right corner of this panel, we have like some barrels on the shelf, right? And if you see the Straw Hats, you see they're sitting right here, and then we see you have these section dividers for the couch. And if you go to the next page, same page, and you go to the previous panel, you can see behind the Straw Hats on what has to be the other wall, because on the back wall or on the wall by the table is barrels. What has to be on the other wall, these look like books. This looks like a bookshelf. And I'm just very interested to see if Robin, she's a little fucked up right now. But when she comes to, she's happy. She's happy. They're about to go see Saul. And they're gonna have some books for her there too. But I'm just this panel and this what seems to be a bookshelf behind the Straw Hats, a giant bookshelf. I wonder if she literally gonna be able to walk in the books, like open and just stand at the bottom of the 2 pages and just read. That would be so cool. Anyways, I'm geeking out about this giant shit. This panel and stuff, and what seems to be bookshelf. I literally am making shit up, but it just has me. I do think we are gonna get some scenes from Robin reading some Elbaf literature though, and this has me excited for that, because y'all got to think about what the Giants could possibly know and have in their history books. They might have the true story. You feel me? Not the shit that the government them selling. These niggas might fuck around and have some of the true story for real. So I'm super excited for that. I'm dumb excited for that. It's been a really good Let's Talk. A really good Let's Yap. Happy to yap with you niggas. Stupid ass. And I will talk to y'all boys and girls later. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for watching. If you made it all this far, I really do appreciate you. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, comment, talk to me, please. You hear me? I'm here. Please is crazy, but talk to a nigga, man. I'm here.
It's kinda hard to say I'm having one, cause I done gave so many.